Hey guys, this is Tom from Elevation Every Weekend. I'm going to do a quick video. I'll show you one of the first things I do anytime I get a new bike was to put some frame protection on it. I purchased here, it's called Zodo Bicycle Paint Protection. It's stuff I've used on several of my bikes. It lasts great, looks great. It's designed not to yellow, and I can back that up. You know, it doesn't change the tint on your paint or anything like that. It's almost invisible, and it does a great job on protecting the frame from debris, stones, rocks. So typically I'll put it on the bottom of the down tube, the bottom bracket, usually on the back side of the seat tube, and definitely over here on the chainstay. And then wherever else I can fit it. There's some spots that it's a little more difficult just by the shape of the tubes and whatnot. You can't really get it everywhere and have it stay and work appropriately. But mainly I just want to protect the bulk of the frame where the rocks are really getting kicked up and thrown as I'm riding. And that's generally the down tube, the seat tube, chainstay from chain slap when you're really riding hard. Your chain can hit the chainstay. If you don't protect it, it'll really chew up the paint. But anyways, what I'll do is I will take this, and this comes in two rolls. This one's about 3 inches wide. This one's about 1.25 inches wide. And I'll just take it. Now, this bike has some, bottom side braze-ons. A lot of bikes don't. It makes it easy. You just put one big strip down there. This one has some, so I'll probably measure out and segment a few sections appropriately to cut it and then apply it. Like I said, put it on the down tube, on the seat tube, chainstay, and we'll go from there. I might be able to get some in a couple other spots, sometimes on the inside of the fork, especially if you get into some mud and stuff, you'll get some rub and you can have some scratching happen. Same thing with here. Areas like this are more difficult because of the shape of the tubes. It's hard to get anything to really adhere to it and match the shape and stay on reliably. But we might give that a shot. But stay tuned. I'm just going to show you real quick. Okay guys, just to kind of speed things up, I've already measured out and then cut out this first piece to accommodate these two braze-ons. And so we're just gonna peel off the backing carefully. And the tricky part is just getting it started. Getting it centered up, looks good. I'm gonna try to avoid touching it as much as possible just so you don't get fingerprints on it. And then the key is to get it in place, and I always run straight down the center to start. That'll kind of get you started, and then you just work out that way away from the center, and that's how you avoid getting bubbles on it, air pockets, things like that. Nice clean install, and it is now protected. And as you can probably see or not see in the video, is it's really almost invisible, which is what I want. It's what I prefer. So it's one of the benefits of it. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and get this next section on. Make sure there's no fingerprints. If you have ridden your bike and are adding it on after the fact, you definitely want to make sure you clean it thoroughly and prepare the surface so there's no imperfections on it. Just get it lined up. Boom. And there we go. Second piece is on. It looks good, no air pockets. Again, in the video you probably can't even see it, which ultimately is what I prefer. It is usually a little easier when you just have one clean piece you can do. Piecing it together is not ideal, but you don't really have a way around it in this situation. I kind of learned about the need for this the hard way. The first bike I bought out here after I moved to Colorado was in 2013. It was a Trek Marlin, and it was my first decent mountain bike. Even that's more of a bike path bike, but I put a couple thousand miles on that bike. I never did put anything on it, and the paint shows it. It's beat up. I even tried buying some touch-up paint that I just eyeballed on the match to touch it up, and it doesn't really match, so it just doesn't look great. So after the learning curve on that bike, every bike I've bought since then, I've immediately put frame protection on it, and it's made a world of difference as far as maintaining the looks of the bike, the integrity of the bike. You know, this bike's steel frame, and the couple of those other bikes I own are aluminum. But it's, I think, even more important if you have a carbon bike to protect it from, you know, some really, you know, nasty, you know, rock things and stuff. A lot of your decent mountain bikes will have like rubberized coatings and things, which helps, but they usually don't cover everything. But even aluminum bikes, you know, thin wall, high quality aluminum, you know, it can ding and dent, and you don't want that. It just, over time, it just you lose the integrity of the strength of the tube if you start dinging it and chipping it in the case of carbon fiber. Steel frame's more durable to those types of things, but I still want to protect it. You know, this bike, I expect to have it for many, many years, if not decades. So, you know, I want to do everything I can to maintain it and keep it looking great. Okay, so next up, we'll do another small piece here, try to get that covered, and then we'll try to get a piece on the bottom bracket. So this will be a little more tedious. Bottom bracket area is always tedious because you have welds and bends and all these curves and crevices. So you can only protect so much, but I at least try to get the main surfaces covered up. There we go. That is a perfect fit. Again, no bubbles. And I have the tape secured flatly on the tube. If you get it into the weld or the bend, it'll never seal up right, and as soon as you get some dirt in there, it'll start lifting, and it won't last. So that's why it is important to be thorough on that and try to keep it as much as you can out of those bends and joints and things like that. Okay guys, gonna do the seat tube now. Again, this is the tire side, so this should be pretty straightforward. There's nothing impeding, so I just want to get a ballpark on the length. And actually Surly has some stickers up here, so I don't necessarily need to go over those since they have some protection there anyways. So I'm going to do a little different. I'm just going to peel it halfway, part way, to get it started since my clearance is limited. That way I'm not fighting the sticker the entire time. So I'm just going to peel it down about an inch or so to get a start. I think that's it. Okay, I'm gonna put the front wheel back on, flip it over, and we'll do the chainstay. Okay, last major section, we're gonna hit this chainstay. As I was saying earlier, when you're really riding, especially if you're going downhill at speed and the chain's bouncing, it can hit your chainstay and chew it up pretty quickly. So it's important to have protection there. Again, a lot of bikes will have something there already from the factory, especially, you know, trail bikes, mountain bikes. And one of the other tricks that a lot of people will do, if you want something more, substantial is they'll take an old inner tube and cut it up and just wrap it and then like zip tie it on. That's another good trick. I've always used this stuff and it's always done the job, so I've never had any issues. So a little bit odd shaped, but we will get it on there and lock it down. This stuff is fairly pliable though, so you can actually have, it will actually cooperate to some degree on bends and things like that. You just have some limitations. Okay guys, that is the extent of this video. Again, just a quick overview just to show you one of the, I feel, essential things for protecting your bike, especially when it's new, and especially if you're going to ride it in other than paved circumstances where things like rock, gravel, things like that are going to be an issue. Pretty much what I showed you here is pretty much what I consider the bare essentials, but it also is probably 90% of where you have to worry about it. You can't really cover the whole bike, and you will get nicks and dings here and there as you ride, but the bulk of it is in these areas that I've already shown you. And if you do that, you can keep your bike looking pretty much like brand new after years and thousands of miles. Like I said, I've proven this on some of my other bikes. I have my orange hardtail 29er. It's probably got about 5,000 miles on it. It's been through a couple drivetrain refreshes and everything. It's kind of become my go-to bike, my gravel grinder, that kind of thing. Can kind of do a little bit of everything, and it's pretty quick and fun to ride, comfortable to ride. So it sees a lot of miles and a lot of varying conditions, from paved to hard packed to gravel to even some trail riding. And again, the protection on it has kept it looking pretty much like new, especially on the down tube and the seat tube. So I hope you found this video helpful. I have some other videos. I have a lot more coming on this bike in particular. So please feel free to subscribe and check out some of my other videos, and there's lots more to come. Thanks and have a great day.